here is an update for MeteoMark weather. It's been a little while since I've done one of these. I've been on vacation, but now I'm back for a little bit. So let's take a look. I have some spare moments here on my vacation. I'm still on vacation, but here we go. Let's take a look. Got a lot going on here in the world of weather, especially here in the Northeast. Let's take a look at some pictures over the weekend. We had June 22nd here, 2013. You can take a look here at the Joe Drehos from Johnson City, New York, sent in his photo of a supermoon. Look at this supermoon here. There was very good pictures of the moon to be had. And let me stand off the screen here, give you a full picture view of that. Very, very nice. Thank you, Joe. I assume he took it on his Canon T3i EOS Rebel. So here we go. Jason Scholler. Here we are. Storm approaching his house. Look how dark these clouds were. This has been like what's been going on most of the weekend and into this week across much of the Northeast. And it's been very hot. It's been very humid. But this is the end result. And we usually get these towards evening here. If you take a look, he's got some tree branch and some tree down photos here. I think this occurred last week here in New Hampshire. And as you can see, look at, there was a large tree down, and this was, I believe this was from last Monday's thunderstorms. He thinks it was a lightning strike, and it looks like it was a lightning strike, given the tree. So yeah, this is what's been going on across much of the New England states and the northeastern states, from Pittsburgh, Cleveland, all the way up through the Northeast, upstate New York, Pennsylvania, and on up through New Hampshire, Vermont, Connecticut, and especially up through Maine. So, that pretty much does it for my Facebook photos. I have more photos here, hold on. And we head on over to Derek Rentschler from Lebanon, Pennsylvania, Lebanon County, PA. Take a look at these photos. Some nice thunderstorm clouds, June 24th, 2013. Look at these photos here. You can see we've got a good deal of thunder cumulonimbus clouds. Cumulonimbus building up across much of the sky here. You can see he kind of started out with them starting out as smaller, and I like this. And then they started to get bigger, and this is how they develop in this really hot, humid, unstable air mass that we're in. And temperatures across southern Pennsylvania have been into the lower to middle 90s, so very warm with dew points into the lower 70s. Look at these photos here, and you see the last frame here. Look at this. A lot of darker clouds mixing in across much of the sky, and you can see those are definitely some very formidable thunder clouds. So thank you, Derek, for sending those in. We're going to see some active weather again through the next couple days, and I'll show you exactly where the trouble spots are. And last but not least, we're going back to Lucas D. from Linden, Texas. He sent these in, I believe, on Thursday. Take a look at these nice photos. Cumulus clouds here, some blue skies, and a couple photos here of some blue jays. The blue jays are out in full swing. Blue jays across much of the south and even here in the north. So very nice, some shots of some blue jays. It takes a lot of skill to get close to them, but not close enough that they actually fly away. Some nice sky photos here. Look at some of these clouds here. Some of these look like cumulus, and some of them look like cumulonimbus clouds as well. So very nice structure to the sky. And it looks like he got a picture of the moon as well. This was it looks like right before the weekend, before it became the supermoon. You can see a little bit of the sliver missing there. And a very, very nice moon at that. Very nice, Lucas, and a very nice purple flowers to finish off. These are growing pretty much everywhere now, including the southern states. So, very nice pictures here. Thank you, Lucas. And I think that pretty much does it for photos. If I missed any, I'll include them in the next weather update. I don't believe I missed any, though. Well, let's take a look at your weather across much of the lower 48. Here we go. Here's the map of liquid equivalent precipitation across much of the country, and here we go. I can probably stand over here because most of the action is across the upper Midwest through the lower Great Lakes here. Take a look at this. We've got a good deal of oranges and reds here, which correlate to 1.25 inches up to 2.5 inches, as well as a good deal in the red here of 2.5+ inches of rain, but particularly from Chicago over to southern Michigan, extreme northern Ohio, southern Ontario through London, and extending over towards Buffalo, Rochester, Syracuse, and heading over towards the Adirondacks and up through the northern White Mountains. This is where we could see a lot of flash flooding the next couple days as this stalled out frontal boundary that I'll show you on the surface maps hangs out across much of the northern states here. And I'll touch on this on my July outlook that I'm going to release this week as well. You take a look here across the southeast, this is where we get some popcorn showers and thunderstorms, those typical varieties, and I'll tell you what, Florida has seen just way too much rain this year, and they're going to continue to see these tropical downpours, and this could be a precursor of the kind of tropical season that we could be seeing across much of the Gulf Coast and East Coast states. So let's take a look at your weather forecast, but before we do, we're going to take a look right into the tropics right now. You can see off the screen here in the Eastern Pacific, this is Cosme for that matter. It's a hurricane, but it's going to continue to head west away from the Mexican coast, so it's only going to be a problem to shipping at this point. We are looking at a few areas here, down here through the southern Caribbean Sea, right down through towards Panama here. We have a tropical wave, and we also have a tropical wave here towards the southern, just southeast of the Lesser Antilles here, the southern Lesser Antilles, towards the north coast of South America here. So we're going to continue to watch these areas. I have them in the yellow shading, not in the orange shading. Orange shading and red mean high likelihood of development. These are like 10% chance of development, so I'm not looking at anything in the next couple days at least, through the next 72 hours. Let's get right into the surface map here for your Wednesday. We're heading on into the day on Wednesday, and this sharp cold front across the northern Midwest, also extending across stationary front here across northern New England and southern Ontario and Quebec will continue to spread showers and thunderstorms, and in this red shading, that's where the storms could approach severe levels, severe limits. And I want to make note here, this fuchsia colored here across portions of Ohio, Indiana, southern Michigan, and extreme northern Kentucky, this is where we could see a high risk of severe weather, moderately to high risk tomorrow. So I want to make note of that. We don't get derechos very often, but we could see a possibility of a bow echo, or a derecho for that matter. If we don't see a derecho, there'll probably be a quick bow echo before it collapses across this area. But we're still looking at a widespread severe weather outbreak across much of the Ohio Valley on Wednesday. You can see those temperatures to support it. 90s even in Pittsburgh here, up towards Binghamton one more day, New York City, Washington, D.C., and extending throughout most of the southeast here. Dallas will be hitting 100 degrees over towards Little Rock. But this cold front will continue to push towards the east here. Let's take a look at your Thursday. And this storm system pushes, and this is where we'll see a high likelihood of severe to strong storms across the mid-Atlantic region, portions of eastern New York, Long Island, and extending down towards New Jersey, Baltimore and Washington, D.C., and extending down towards extreme northern Virginia here. This is where we could see some severe weather likely here. And this storm system will continue to press towards New England here. Flash flooding likely across portions of upstate New York, southern Ontario, heading over towards Quebec, Montreal, Ottawa, and extending down towards Buffalo. This is where we could see some heavy rains, even up in the White Mountains here of New Hampshire and Vermont and Maine. So keep an eye on that. 2 to 5 inches of rain is possible, especially with this stalled out front to the north. And here across the southeast, popcorn showers and thunderstorms will continue on into Friday here. This cold front continues to push slowly, agonizingly slow to the east, and it will continue to stall out here with heavy rains across portions of the northeast, especially in northern New England here and southeastern Quebec and into Nova Scotia. And this frontal boundary continues to stall out across the southern plains and Gulf Coast states, where we'll see a return to showers and thunderstorms with heavy rain. That's pretty much what we're looking at the next couple days. In the next couple of days, I'll have your weekend forecast outlook as well as your July outlook. That's pretty much it for MeteoMark for your national and North American weather. We're going to continue to watch the problems with the heat, humidity, and severe weather, and the tropics as well. For that matter, like me on Facebook at MeteoMark. Subscribe to me on YouTube at MeteoMark.com. Don't forget to stay cool. Temperatures are in the 90s for most of the eastern United States. Here's a 4-day forecast for my hometown viewers from Binghamton to Elmira and the northern tier counties of Pennsylvania. Let's take a look. Susquehanna region of New York and Susquehanna region of Pennsylvania, extending all the way down towards the Scranton area. We're looking at chance of strong storms into your day on Wednesday and even on into Thursday here. One more day above 90, then we'll approach the upper 80s on Thursday. Look at these chances of strong storms. We're going to be in for a rough couple days here across the southern tier of New York and northeast Pennsylvania, as you can see. Also, some locally heavy rains, areas of flooding possible as well in some of those smaller streams and creeks. Heading on into your TGIF and your Saturday, we're still looking at chances of showers and thunderstorms. There's going to be the front stalling across the area, and we'll have those temperatures continue to drop towards the 70s, the high 70s, through the weekend. So look forward to that, but we're still not going to be able to get rid of a lot of the humidity as we continue to see showers and thunderstorms in the forecast. Not quite as strong on Friday and Saturday. We'll have more of those single-celled thunderstorms develop, which will be pretty much on the weak side. That's going to do it for MeteoMark.